wait for the microphone. Who wants to start us off? No questions. And we're done.
And we're done. Good. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. You talk to the players.
Yeah, that was over there.
Geno, just your thoughts on how kind of Paige came out and seemed like a perfect night for her, day for her to get her last game here before the NCAA tournament, just really controlled everything.
Yeah, that's what you want to happen. Games like the Creighton game, where you're trying to win a Big East championship. Games like today, where it's, your day, and it means a lot. You want to show your best version of yourself. Doesn't always work out that way, but sometimes it does. And for Paige, the season's been it's flown by, so fast, like they always do. But I think she's on the right track right now. So you always want it to be special, and I think today certainly was for her.
Geno, can you assess Caitlyn's regular season, and what are you looking for in the postseason? Because her history says that she's a very strong postseason player.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see why she would be that. There's a maturity to her. She loves being coached. She's taken on a vocal role. It took her about maybe a month to feel comfortable enough, and she plays with a lot of confidence, and she carries herself on the court and off the court with a lot of confidence. And I think everybody on our team and everybody on our staff lets her know all the time, how much she's meant to us, this year. And I am looking forward to the postseason, both the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament, because I think she's, being a fifth-year senior, I think she's going to add, a lot to what we're doing.
Dom, then Maggie, then Ian.
Geno, I know every player that comes here, they think about it, they look at the names up there and they want to see their name up there someday. That's the end goal. What goes through your mind when somebody like Paige, and you always seem destined to be up there, they take down that shroud and there it is. Well, what goes through your mind when you see that?
It's I remember the first time it happened, and there was well, the first time it happened with Carrie Bascom, we didn't have all this, and we never had a chance to really celebrate it like this. So Rebecca was probably the first one that ever got to experience what this feels like, and what it means to me personally is a reminder that it's a huge responsibility when you recruit players with that kind of talent. They come with a lot of aspirations, a lot of dreams, a lot of goals, and you feel the weight of, you have to deliver that. You have to put them in a position to make sure that they get that. It's almost like if they don't get it, you failed, So when they do get to experience something like this, it kind of validates their work ethic and their commitment to being great, and it makes us as a coaching staff feel a sense of satisfaction, Obviously happy for them, happy for Paige, but at the same time, a sense of satisfaction. You know, we promised this kid something, and we were able to deliver it.
Maggie?
I know it was senior day, but just how helpful is it to start games with just Aubrey's aggression, her effort on either side of the ball?
Yeah, as I said, we've got certain lineups that serve certain purposes, and that same lineup in a different scenario against a different team might not provide those same results. But for the first time in a couple years, we do have the ability to adapt to what the game needs. And I thought today Aubrey was just like the other night. You know, she was instrumental in creating a tone, setting the tone for you know, how the game was going to be played. And it doesn't always turn into easy buckets, but it does start the process of the other team feeling like they're constantly under pressure, and every pass is going to be contested, and every dribble and every shot. I mean, I don't know how many 5-second counts we got today, but that didn't happen a month ago, you know. So having her really impacts the whole vibe of our defense.
4 or 5 second calls.
4? Yeah, yeah. And the offensive rebounds that she came up with. So, no, that's, you know, I know, generally speaking, I know what we're going to get from Aubrey, and she generally doesn't fail, you know, never fails to deliver.
Yeah.
Along those lines, can you talk about the defense today? You guys forced 24 turnovers, and then 10 of them were in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Well, we forced a lot of turnovers, and when they weren't turning it over, they scored. So I don't know that our defense was that great today. When we played Marquette last year in the Big East tournament, they had 26 for the game, and these guys had 34 at the half. And the only shots they made were threes and layups. So we were kind of animated at halftime, let's put it that way. Because I think you can get carried away with, we're scoring a lot of points, so it doesn't matter how many they get. And that's a bad way to go into the postseason. And I thought that third quarter we came out, and it was way different than the first half. So creating turnovers is really important to us because it gets us going transition-wise. But the third quarter, we executed better, way better defensively in the third quarter.
Alexa and then Emily.
Geno, kind of on the flip side of Dom's question, if Paige isn't one for, you know, she didn't prioritize individual athletes, but you sense even just going into today or during the ceremony, you sense that, like, she's realizing, like, you know, like, I was able to do all this here and really have that sense of appreciation for her own path, or is she more so just focused on what's ahead?
You know, that's a good question. And if you'd have asked me X number of years ago about one of our players who had that journey and that path, and how do they feel, and what significance or what amount of emotion or, you know, stuff like that, I would be able to give you a better answer. I think with a lot of these guys today, I don't think they know. I don't think they have the skills, the wherewithal to fully express how they really feel. I think there's a reticence about letting it all come out, putting it all out there, and letting everybody see this is who I am, and this is what I feel like, and this is what it all. I think it's there. I think it's inside, and maybe it'll manifest itself tonight when she's by herself, or tomorrow at practice, or maybe in the NCAA tournament game here at Gamble, when she'll look up and go, "It's my last time in this building." But at some point it's gonna hit home, and I hope I'm around to see the reaction.
You talked about it a little bit yesterday, but how did you like the way Ice came back today?
Fantastic. I thought, Ice thrives on confidence, like success, I should say. Success gives her confidence, and she needs to feel and taste success. And when she does, she just blossoms right in front of your eyes on the court. This is the best condition, the best shape she's been in since she got to Connecticut. She's worked incredibly hard. All year long, she's gotten better and better defensively. She's always been a terrific passer, and you saw that today. I think making that three at the halftime buzzer is huge for her, because she has really, really struggled shooting the ball this year. And I know she loves to shoot it, and she's pretty good at it. So, not having played in a long time and playing today, this game is going to really, now, I could have to eat my words, but my guess is a game like this pushes her forward to having a great weekend next weekend, like she did last year. Ice is really, really good when she feels like you really need her. That's what happened last year. She knew Aaliyah wasn't going to play, so she felt like we really, really need her, and she has no choice. She has to do it. I think when she feels like, well, we got a bunch of other guys that he can sub me out for, she doesn't work as well that way. So hopefully this gets her in the right frame of mind for next weekend. Makes us a different team.
You've created a lot of different parents over the years of players. I saw you today with a former All-Big East player that you tried to stop not that long ago with Easy's mom. What's the dynamic there with that? Does it feel a little different with her and you?
What a pain in the ass she was to play against when she was at Georgetown. I mean, just relentless. That's the best way I could describe it. Just a relentless competitor, tough, and edgy. I said something to her today when she came up there. I said, this is going by way, way too fast. And she said, yeah. I said, this was fast. And she remarked, way too fast. And so did Tim, her dad. So, I think like anybody else, I think you want to try to hold on to it for as long as you can, But it's funny today, Katie, Daisy's mom, and then Pam Rothfuss back then had a senior night because she played for me, and now her daughter is one of our managers. It's like I really need to be reminded one more time that I'm old. Like that's just what I need. Kids that started work for me when they're my grandkids' age or something like that.
Mike, and then Maggie, and then we'll finish up with you two.
Geno, Paige was devastated to finally miss a free throw there, and it's like it was going to ruin her. What was otherwise a pretty cool day for her. She obviously takes a lot of pride in her efficiency. I think she's right at like 90%. She's at 50% from the field, 40 from threes. What do you think of the efficient ways she's built her season?
Yeah, that's been a point of contention with her the last couple of years. That there was a point in time earlier this season when she was shooting like 60% from the floor, 58% from the three-point line or some crazy number, and 83% from the free throw line. And that was the contention that we used to come with all the time. Said, we got to get her we got to keep the ball out of her hands at crunch time because we don't want to go into the free throw line. So we were just constantly, picking on her and having fun with her because we know how serious she is about all that she prides herself on, being called the most efficient player in America, I thought it was a little, maybe it's because it's Oscar night, it's a little over dramatic. I thought it was a little much, the reaction to missing the free throw. I just turned around and started talking to my staff. I didn't need to be witness to anything like that, I'd go home and watch a movie if I wanted to see that kind of bad acting. But she takes great pride in it, man. She takes great pride in it, in everything she does. She got her ass kicked today by Jenna in a half-court shooting contest, and it was like, she just lost, a national championship game. So to her, being perfect and being efficient and being thought of as that I can do anything and I can do it better than anybody else, really means a lot to her.
Maggie? Now that you guys shift gears into the postseason, just what's the biggest priority this week before the biggest tournament starts on Saturday?
I would say the thing that we've been trying to get better at, and we weren't great at it today in the first half, was doing a better job of taking away some open looks from the three-point line, and doing a better job of our ball screen coverage, because those are two things that every team seems like in America wants to do. There's a ball screen somewhere coming, and there's a bunch of threes going up. Everybody wants to play that way. So going into postseason, I would say, too many of those open threes, too many mistakes on your ball screen coverage. That's the fastest way, I think, to get knocked out of the tournament.
This often happens this time of year. One of your former players is in the NCAA tournament, or Wendy Davis got St. Joe's in there yesterday, and it's been a long time coming for her.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was your first to become a coach, but what are some of your thoughts on what she's done in the game?
It's crazy. The kid that played on her team was the first to go into coaching, Chris Lamb. And actually before that, Megan Patterson, now both of them, and then Wendy followed. Wendy was the first, I think, to experience the tremendous success, both at Western New England, then at Trinity, where she really got it going, and now at St. Joe's, and none of that surprised me one iota. You talk about a kid who was so independent, so self-sufficient as a student. I think all she needed was, in September, give me the syllabus and I'll see you at the finals. And in basketball, let me play, coach me, and I'll do the rest. Because she never, ever missed practice, missed an assignment, knew how to get open, smarter, shot it like nobody else ever in the history of the Big East at that time, and did it without any fanfare. I was always unbelievably amazed watching her play. Her attention to detail was second to none. So I'm sure she carries that over to her coaching, and it's no surprise that everywhere she's coached, they have tremendous success. Yeah, I've been fortunate, man, and she was one of them. I mean, the best three-point shooter in the history of the Big East at that time, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Hi, Coach. Just like you mentioned before that you've been a part of a lot of senior celebrations. As a coach stepping into these ceremonies, how do you feel? Does it differ from the past? And then just coming into it, just how do you feel knowing, it might be some of these players' last time playing before they embark on their new journeys?
I would say, everything changes. There's a difference to what senior day, senior night. There's a difference in the way it's evolved from 40 years ago, and it probably should be, because everything else is different. Everything else has changed. Everything else has evolved. Well, not everybody's evolved, but things have changed for sure. There's a part that hasn't changed. That part is how much this means to the families of the kids. That's still the same. The amount of pride and how grateful they are that their kids have had an opportunity to accomplish all these things, and how they can celebrate with their kids. From a coaching standpoint, each and every kid that comes through here, by the time senior night comes around, there's one or two things that you take from each of them that you remember the most of anything. Some it's more personal, some it's not, but all of them leave a mark. And I always, I'm famous for always appreciating them way more when they're not here than when they are here. So I think today is a reminder to kind of like, you should probably appreciate it more while it's going on. I usually wait till they're not here to tell them, I wish you were here.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.